to Paragon. I'm Liz Krause.
And I'm Robert Miller. And tonight, a salute to February's Black Heritage Month, with a close look at one of the cultural contributions of NIU's Center for Black Studies.
The finishing touch for Black Heritage Month was a visit from Reverend Jesse Jackson. We'll have the highlights of his inspiring speech given right here at the Home Student Center. Also on tonight's show, where do parents on campus turn when it comes down to going to class and taking care of the kids?
And how about those Lady Huskies? We'll gaze at two of NIU's more nimble-footed spectator sports. All this and more coming your way when Paragon continues. So stay tuned.
Pot for you.
No.
Cocaine?
No, thanks.
Yo, my man, you want some lewds? No way.
If someone offers you drugs, instead of saying something you really don't mean, just say,
No.
Got some centimillion for you. No.
No.
no big production number. Just say,
No.
You'd be surprised how well it works.
Pot?
No.
Jesse Jackson spoke to a captivated audience a few Saturdays ago when he came to town. Jackson, who's now living in Chicago, traveled to DeKalb to talk to NIU students as part of February's Black Heritage Month.
Jackson's been described in a best-selling book as the man, the myth, and the movement. While at NIU, he stressed to a large crowd of his followers that the most sacred thing we have is our right to vote. The Duke Ellington Ballroom came alive on February 21st. The Reverend Jesse Jackson spoke in front of a very enthusiastic and supportive crowd for Black History Month. His speech was filled with comments on world issues, but it also touched on domestic politics. The audience was mainly composed of college students to whom Jackson directed his comments.
All of us cannot be famous because all of us cannot be well known. But all of us can be great because all of us can serve. And every generation is called to serve its present age and to define its day.
Jackson was quick to offer his opinions, especially of President Reagan's involvement in the Iran arms scandal and the diversion of funds to the Contras fighting in Nicaragua.
The trust of the people has been betrayed. All of this took place in the White House. If the president did not know about it, and it took place in his house, that is bad. If he did know about it, and is covering it up, that is bad. If he knew about it and forgot it, that's worse.
In a news conference after the speech, Jackson was asked if he had personal plans to seek freedom for the American hostages.
Well, we tried to make approaches to election. We went to Syria to get Lieutenant Robert Goodman and to Cuba to get Americans out of Cuba. But in both instances, there were identifiable heads of government. In this instance, it's more murky in Lebanon. Secondly, we made humanitarian pleas, mercy missions. Now that the Reagan administration has added money and missiles to the equation, they have raised the price on the head of Americans held in that region. And so what the White House has done is made it more difficult for anybody to negotiate the release of those Americans who are being held hostage.
But what the crowd really remembered was Jackson's stated goal of world peace.
Man got nuclear power. If you will, there was a nuclear accident in Kiev in Russia a few months ago. First few days, American journalists kind of laughed. You know, we understand from the test that the Russians had a nuclear accident yesterday. they're not as excellent as we are. They can't control it. I don't know how they forgot 3 Mile Island. They just talking going on and on. And Gorbachev is not as open as our president. Gorbachev will not talk about this thing. The Russians got a problem. And then the wind blew. And then the wind kept blowing. And the cows in Oregon had a problem. We live in a one-world community.
His plan for peace centered on achieving racial equality. He showed this by bringing a white boy and a black girl up on stage during the question and answer session which followed his speech. Jackson's speech was co-sponsored by several campus organizations. His visit certainly was a milestone for NIU and a turning point for the people involved in Black Heritage Month.
But not only did they help bring Jackson to our campus, they were involved the whole month of February working to enhance awareness of the black community.
Here's a glimpse of the 10th annual Black Art Show held earlier in the month.
Recently, the 10th annual Black Art Show was held at the Holmes Student Center. The show is staged as part of the nation's celebration of Black Heritage Month. The art show is one of many events sponsored by the Center for Black Studies during Black Heritage Month. Ranging from lithographs to graphites, the show included the works of 4 different artists. One of the artists included in the show was Tanya Anderson. Attending NIU on a painting scholarship, Miss Anderson discussed her work.
When I pick up the brush, I don't think, well, I'm a woman or I'm a black woman. I can't escape, nor would I want to, what I am. And so those things aren't even a consideration. They're a part of the work, very much so, indeed. But they're not the primal motivations that make me paint the images. My experiences, which relate indirectly and directly to my own identity, being a black woman, artist, are certainly seen in the works, but they're not the prime motivation. The prime motivation for me is living.
Also included in the show were pencil drawings by Michael Ross. All of Mr. Ross's drawings were untitled, allowing the viewer to arrive at his or her own interpretation of the work. Artist Tanya Anderson gives her own interpretation of what the annual Black Art Show is all about.
Unfortunately, there are a lot of people who are not aware of what Black Heritage is for, and it's a period of learning, of educational experiences, of cultural enlightenment. And we're here just trying to further add to that in a small way.
From Tanya Anderson's Helix to Patricia Jackson's portraiture read B+3, the 10th annual Black Art Show acknowledges the contributions of black artists to society.
You know, Robert, I think it's great to be exposed to different backgrounds of people. But in a way, too, I think it's kind of sad we only give them 1 month out of the year to honor them.
I agree, Liz. In fact, honoring our different cultures should be a year-round thing. Everyone should be aware of his own heritage and the different ways that cultures express themselves.
Speaking of expression, it's time now to hear from moviegoer Beth Sipula. She'll be letting us know what's playing at the local silver screens.
Hi, I'm Beth with this week's Cine Club Coming Attractions. The Campus Activities Board isn't showing any films this week because of spring break. Thursday night at 8:45 p.m. in Sandberg Auditorium, Boy by director Nagisa Oshima will be shown. It is a story of a small Japanese boy whose parents have trained him to throw himself in front of passing cars. His father then blackmails the innocent drivers. Director Nagisa Oshima is best known in the West for his films In the Realm of the Senses and Merry Christmas, Mr. Lawrence, which starred David Bowie. Let's take a look at a minute now. Friday at 7:30 p.m. in Cole 100, the German Film Festival continues with Young Torless, directed by Volker Schlondorf. It is a gripping adaptation of Robert Musil's 1906 classic novel about sadism and rampant fascism in a German boys' boarding school. Here's a minute from that.
Lass das hier doch gehen. Gib mal her. Oh, Teufel!
Join me in 2 weeks for coming attractions about a classic Fred Astaire musical and 1986's most disgusting horror film, The Fly.
NIU sports teams are nothing foreign to campus sports addicts. But there are two teams we're going to focus on tonight that are lesser known to students: the women's gymnastic team and the women's tennis team.
That's right, Robert. The women athletes of both these teams make it a common practice to sweat and slave in order to keep in shape.
And I'm sure the coaches make sure they put in that extra effort. In a minute, we'll meet the dedicated Lady Huskies and the people behind the teams. And maybe, Liz, you'll even get some tips on how to improve your backhand. We'll be right back.
Dear Charlie, what a joy today. The little one we thought we'd lost has now gained 2 pounds.
For 20 years, Peace Corps projects have been helping people live better. All over the world, Peace Corps volunteers are building lasting friendships, and that means a better future for us all.
Just ask my friends here about that.
Peace Corps, the toughest job you'll ever love.
The women's gymnastics team has a pretty good record this year, and some of the girls might even go on to regional competition if they stay on the right track.
For now, the gymnastics season is winding down. It ends sometime in March. But it's not over for the skilled acrobats on the team or for their dedicated coach. In fact, all the hard work has just begun.
Hidden away in the Husky Stadium, the NIU women's gymnastics team practices to perfect their graceful art. The dedicated team members work long hours year-round to keep themselves in optimum physical condition. Coach Bobby Cesarek has been helping to improve the team for the last 10 years.
We are practicing basically year-round. The girls begin practice here at the university when school begins in August, and we start working on some tricks after season is over, from basically the middle of April till the middle of May, that last couple of weeks. And then the girls are required to keep in training and working out during the summer months.
And what makes gymnastics exciting?
It is so much a spectator sport. It's very aesthetic in nature. It's a lot like figure skating and a lot like diving, where it has the aesthetics involved with it, yet it has the power and the skill necessary to perform some of these tricks. And believe me, some of the tricks that these young ladies are doing now are just incredible, just even from a couple years ago of what the gymnastic teams have looked like in the past. We've got some very advanced skills that we're doing, and it's awful exciting. It's breathtaking at times, a little heart-stopping at other times, but it's very much exciting to watch, and I think very pretty to watch at the same time.
Coach Cesarek motivates the team through her love for the sport, while also respecting each individual's needs.
I like Bobby because she's fun. I mean, if you're having a bad day, she understands you're having a bad day. She doesn't push you. She respects your opinion, too.
Injured team member Gretchen Kind feels the same.
She's really understanding. Like, I have a knee problem, and when it starts hurting me, she lets, me take it easy when it's hurting, and gives me a lot of encouragement, to take it easy when it hurts, and just, take my time, because it took a lot to get back into gymnastics.
All of the team members look at gymnastics not just as a sport, but as a way of life.
There's a lot of pain sometimes, but I just love the sport so much. I love competing. I love doing it. To me, it's just a great feeling to go out there and be able to do all those kind of things. And I've had a lot of goals since I was young of what I wanted to do, and I still have some that I haven't, completed yet that I'd still like to do.
They are like acrobats, aren't they? We might want to add that the team will be on the road over spring break competing in California, one of the benefits of being on a sports team.
And let's not leave the women's tennis team out. They'll be hurrying off to Florida when spring break rolls around. Their season is just getting underway. Here's a look at them in action. And Liz, now let's pay attention. Watch that backhand.
Okay.
Although they are small in number, the NIU women's tennis team is big on dedication and hustle. Even with busy academic schedules, these athletes manage to compete on the highest level, as Coach Patty Fick explains.
We do a lot of traveling. We only have 4 or 5 home matches, and we have 35 matches. We're going to be playing 5 matches down in Florida, where we'll play tough schools such as Wake Forest and University of Miami. But we play a very hard schedule. We're a Division I school. We play mostly Division I teams, University of Nebraska, Wisconsin-Madison, a lot of top 10 Big 8 schools.
Senior Tori Lott is one half of NIU's very successful doubles team.
Sari and I work really hard together. We get psyched really well together. In doubles, you have 2 people out there working together, getting psyched, and there's a lot more finesse and strategy involved in the game of doubles. There's more angles involved, and it's just an all-around, I think it's much more exciting to watch.
NIU can be proud of these talented young women who represent this university with great effort and pride.
Well, Robert, I think I should worry about my forehand before we get into the complicated stuff.
Well, Liz, the sports that you play really tell a lot about who you are.
Oh, yeah.
They can really express something about yourself.
Well, in terms of tennis, I think that I express that I'm uncoordinated. My young nephew could beat me at a game of tennis.
As long as we're talking about expressing oneself, most of us know that if we have kids, children like to express themselves. I know with 3 little ones at home, there are some days when the self-expression never stops.
Here at NIU's Campus Child Care Center, the children of campus parents clearly show where they like to spend their time when Mommy and Daddy are away.
The often confusing and disappointing search for quality childcare need not be a problem for NIU students and faculty. The Campus Child Care Center is located right on campus, and according to parent Deborah Larson, it provides top quality care.
The utmost best care around. The other centers that I've seen and been involved with were fine too, but for some reason, the Campus Child Care Center, they're involved with the university. They know what we're going through as parents, students, so they're always ready to answer questions, ready to listen if you have a need, always at the door watching you bring your child in, and if there's a problem, they can help you to leave easily and not feel like, oh no, what kind of day are we going to all have? So they're really very sensitive to my needs and my child's.
The center serves both full and part-time students and faculty of NIU. The center's hours are flexible, and as Director Diane Kubitz tells us, it serves a unique population.
We're serving a lot of non-traditional students, which are students that are older, students that have children. They're certainly not the student that lives in a residence hall. They're not the student that even always lives in DeKalb. Sometimes they commute from other communities. So what we're doing here is we're serving them by meeting their needs of offering a flexible hour program for them, so they can bring their children during the times and days that they're attending school.
Convenience, however, plays only a small part in a parent's decision to use the Campus Child Care Center.
Well, the thing I personally like most is the fact that the center is very loose in structure in terms of what kind of activities the children will be involved with. It's child-centered, which means that the children are free to choose what activities they want to participate in, so that the room is set up with all kinds of neat things for the kids to do, and each of the children is free to move about the room and to explore his or her own interests. But yet the ratio, the teacher-student ratio, is low enough so that there still is room for a lot of teacher-student contact.
Parents are encouraged to take an active role in daily life at the center. The facility's open door policy allows parents to stop in and visit with their youngsters throughout the day.
Anytime I have a few minutes free, I just pop in the center and do whatever my daughter happens to be doing at that time. I just will come in and say hi, or a quick hug and kiss, or whatever activity she's involved with. Maybe I'll sit down and play a game with her, or sit near the sand, or whatever she happens to be doing at the time.
In addition to supporting parent-child interaction, the center has a group which promotes parents' involvement with each other.
We have something called a Campus Child Care Parent Group, and any parent that has a child here at the center is part of that parent group. What we do for the parent group is we try to provide activities for them of a social nature and also of an educational nature. So besides just providing care for their child, we're also trying to educate them in some parenting. For example, we had a workshop after a potluck supper on time management, because I think that the student parent is a lot busier than many people know they are. They not only are taking classes, they're also running a home, trying to care for children, and maybe also working. And time is at a minimum for them. So we had a lot of discussions with a group of parents on what type of things they could do to help their lives flow more smoothly.
Through the center's involvement with both children and parents, personalized service is possible for each family.
They care about what happens to your child. If something has gone wrong recently, for some reason, they come and ask you, is something different in your home or something has changed? This fall, I was doing student teaching for 4 weeks, and one of the teachers came up and said, has something changed in your home life? Because Matthew has been hugging everyone. Well, that's about the time I started student teaching, so we pinned it right down, so we were able to, I knew then when I went home, just take some time out, extra time, and spend with him. So they're, them feeling us out, treating me and my son as an individual, makes me feel very important.
The little ones also feel important, especially when they're involved in the various campus activities that are suitable for small children. Recently, the center hosted a hop-a-thon for muscular dystrophy, which had the whole building literally jumping with activity.
The hop-a-thon that we're doing right now is the first type of a fundraiser that we've had for someone else, and when we were approached about this, we thought it would be a great way for the children to really know how to care for other people and how to give to other people. We felt that having them do this would be a way that they could see that, yes, some people help us, and now we can help them. What we do during the hop-a-thon is we have the children collect pledges from families and friends, and then they hop, and when they hop, the amount of hops that they get determines how much money is brought in for pledges. The children would like to have the money for themselves, and we're trying to help them understand that this is a type of a thing we are doing for other people.
And just what do the kids do during the days at the Campus Child Care Center?
Play a lot in the playground and do a lot of things here.
Diane Kubitz provides a bit more detail of a child's daily activities at the center.
A typical day at Campus Child Care would involve free play, which is a time when the children are allowed to participate in a variety of activities. They can play with sand, they can play with water, they can have stories read to them by any of the teachers, or they read stories themselves. They can do art projects. They attend group time sessions where they're with their own developmental age group and they participate in art projects, stories, songs, films. They take field trips, they play outside. We try to develop the children's capacities in all areas. We try to help them develop cognitively, we try to help them develop with small motor skills and with large motor skills, and socially and emotionally.
Happy surroundings, parental support, and carefully trained instructors provide a home away from home for NIU parents and their children. Students and faculty who want to find out more about the Campus Child Care Center should call 753-0125. That's 753-0125.
Northern's a home away from home, too. Right now, I know a lot of students are thinking about going home. I don't think we need to remind our viewers that spring break is on its way.
But we would like to remind you that Paragon will be back in 2 weeks when we'll honor NIU's College of Education. It's one of the top 15 education colleges in the nation.
And we'll meet a local family that's helping a foreign student adjust to life in the United States.
Good night, everybody. Have a good spring break.
Good night. Paragon was sponsored in part by Leith Furniture. Shop and compare. You'll always save at Leith Furniture.